Pete Moore and welcome to Mart TV. You probably noticed we've been doing a lot of straight pull rifles lately, and it seems to be the up and coming thing. Years ago Blaser ruled the roost, and it seems to be that everybody's making them. Blaser being one of the earliest guns. And here's something that's not new, but is a straight pull that's perhaps a little bit overlooked in the UK. It's Browning's Maral. It's a hybrid action in that it's based on their BAR, Browning Automatic Rifle, which is a gas piston operated gun. And a lot of countries in Europe now are pushing away from semi-automatic hunting rifles, and Browning came up with the idea of just turning the BAR into a manual operated gun, and instead of all the gas piston system you have a pair of tensata springs in here, which I'll show you later on. So what happens is it's like running a straight pull AR-15 like Bob Clark's Southern gun. If you look, every time you shoot, bang, you just do this. It's incredibly quick, especially because you've got this large handle, the fact that every time you let the bolt go it chambers itself, you don't have to push it forward. But the Maral's a rather classic looking rifle. This is the Big Game, this is my version, and unusually I picked wooden stock, and it's some very nice walnut on here, as you can see. Nice checkering, nice tulip fore end, no complaints at all. This one has what they call Batu sights, which is a day-glow green with a stripe. When you're not using a scope, this draws the eye. It's a driven type game, and up front you have to get a red insert, which is fully adjustable for windage and elevation. The gun comes in a number of options. They made a synthetic a few years back. They come in black, which they call the Nordic. There's a brown stock. They come with adjustable cheek pieces. Other guns come threaded these days, and they even do a left-hand version. They retail around about £2,000. I think the synthetic ones, I think these are a bit more now. But that's the Maral, and if you haven't heard of it or overlooked it, it's worth a look. Okay, let's look a little bit closer at what the Maral offers you. See here, it's got a 22-inch barrel, what they call semi-fluted. The fluting goes from here to here. As you can see, it's a light medium barrel as such. Barrel length is a bit of a contentious point with me. This is 30-06 in 22 inches, and I think is a little bit short for what is a good powerful cartridge, but there are other options. I think 308, the 22-inch tube, is probably the best option if you're thinking about Maral. I said before, we've got the Batu sights. We've already looked at these, but the some of the guns come threaded without iron sights at all if you don't want them, which is quite a nice feature. Plus you can put a moddy on the end, or if it's something like a 300 Win Mag, you can put a muzzle brake on the end. So before, the action is a straight pull. It's a rotary bolt, pull back and release. In action, here's the 4-round mag going in, clips in. Once you've fired, once you've emptied this last round, the gun stays open, which is quite good. So the mag comes out, and then when you put a full mag in, it trips the bolt catch, and so you can just pull back, as you will see when we shoot it, let it go. The rifle has a decocker here, and it's very much like a Blaser decocker, that sort of thing. It slides up from the tang. That's it in fire mode, and you can see there's a red dot there telling you it's in fire mode. So every time you fire, boom, you recock, and the gun's ready to go. At any time you want to stop, you get your thumb, press this button here, knock it down, the gun will still cycle, but nothing else will happen. So the mag catches this C-shaped hook here. It's nice and big. Though it's open, it's secluded by the magazine, so it's well protected. Another interesting thing about this gun is it comes with a T-shaped tool with a handle on the end, and you can take the fore end off, and you can take the butt off. If you look in there, little hole there, you can unwind it, and here you take this sling swivel out. They come with sling swivels. Put it on there, and your fore end comes off. Now you can get a case for these guns, but essentially you can take the butt off, take the scope mount off, which we'll look at in a minute, and put it in the case. It's a air compatible carry case, so it's tough as old boots. It's got combination lock on it, so effectively you can knock the gun down into a package where my hands are, that long, and there's a place in the unit for a scope. So that's it. What I've got on this gun, I'll just turn it around for everybody to show you. Scope's always good. This is mainly a pig rifle for me, and what I have here is a Nomad mount. It's a base that goes on here, it screws onto the receiver, and this is a 30mm ring set, and that foot there drops into that hole, lugs a line to keep it stable, and then you just rotate this T key here, like so, and the scope's locked on. So it's very simple and easy. It retains its zero quite nicely. Right, I'll just take this off. And another option that they do is a Picatinny rail. It's exactly the same mounting on the foot, just got a section of Picatinny rail. I've got an Aimpoint Acro on here, drops on the same way, locks in the same way, and if you're, again, driven game like deer and boar, a red dot is often the answer up to 100 metres. It's very quick, it's very easy. If you want to use your iron sights, you can pop it off and go. So they don't come with these mounts, they're extra, but they really are good value for money, and they do offer a very good option for any sort of optic you want to fit on the gun. And if you look there, there's a screw in the end. I've already undone it. You put it in there, undo the screw, and the whole forehand comes off. Yep, that's it. And how it works is that, as I said before, there's no gas system at all. In there are two what they call tensator springs, which means they're permanently coiled. It's a little bit like a pull-out tape measure. And if you watch this section here, as I pull back, that flat piece of metal under the barrel is a tensator spring extending, and then by extending it's tensioning. So it gets to there, and you let go and it slams back. And there you can see the two tensator springs in there. And believe you me, this works even with a dirty gun. It's quite clever. Let's look at the butt. We'll talk about the furniture. Nice angled grip. It's got a slight palm swell there, as you can see, for a right-hander. This is classic European. You've got a hog's back, which they call this, as it curves down. It gives you a sort of medium height comb, and you have what I'll describe like a Tyrolean cheek piece. As you can see here, it comes out. This is very classic European, should we say, double gun styling. At the back you have a decent recoil pad, and Browning do some good recoil pads, and there's a couple of spacers to adjust length of pull, which again is good. And as I said, there's QD cup socket swivels front and back. So all in all, pretty good. So on the synthetic guns, the Nordic and the Compo, this is just, the Nordic's black, this is like a sort of greeny brown, and you don't have that curve. Instead you have a Calyx Technics type adjustable comb, which again is quite useful if you're shooting, say, red dot or iron sights. The comb's down. If you've got a scope on it, you want to put it up a bit, it's there for it as well. But it's all covered. This is rather nice. You see, it's got this game scene on it. I'm not so struck on it. I don't really like fancy guns, but I just fell in love with the rifle. But if I could get this blacked out, it wouldn't be a problem. But that's essentially the Maral. It's a gun to look at. So it's not new. 2014 it came out, and they're still producing them. They're still making options on the gun, which is really good. And for thick end of 2K, it's pretty good, and it compares well with other fixed barrel guns. Okay, let's see the rifle shoot. Got the standard 4-round mag. Clips in, give it a hit. Decocker is down. All I do, that's chambered, push up, and we shoot. There we are, that was it. So that's the Browning Maral, a rifle worth considering at the price and also at the features. So it's fast with a big mag on it. It's a great pig rifle when they come out thick and fast or whatever. But that's it, comes in many calibers, and in 30-06, so it groups around about an inch, and pretty much that's all I've had out of it from various ammunition, including reloads, but that's good enough for what I want it for. And the truth of it is, if it groups an inch, you can still shoot deer up to 300 yards with it if you really want to. You can swap scopes, and I think if I had my time again, I would buy the synthetic, not the Nordic, without the irons. I like iron sights on this just as a pig gun, but that's, I think, what I would do. Okay, there it is. If you enjoyed what you see, tell your friends, support the website. If you need to speak to me about anything, it's pmall.shootingsports@gmail.com. And good shooting, and watch out for some more straight pull reviews.